Hello, this is JuJuan Buford, your LegalShield and SmallBiz representative. And number one, I just want to thank you for taking time to listen to this message. We here at LegalShield and SmallBiz understand that while the pandemic has forced many of us to change our habits and our daily modus operandi, if you will, life challenges haven't stopped. As a matter of fact, for many of us, particularly those of us with business interests, they've only increased. Right? We still have to make smart, intelligent decisions financially for our families, for our business, et cetera, et cetera. And we want you to know that we haven't stopped serving and protecting you. At the end of the day, the most important part of this equation is you, our client. And so we want you to know that our firms and our business consultants are here and available and committed, working mobily, but just as accessible as ever to answer important business questions. Make sure that certain financial decisions are still being made, marketing decisions are still being made, to make sure that your interests are being protected. And of course, we know there are going to be so many more challenges ahead of us that need to be navigated, and we want you once again to know that we're going to be here. So there are a couple things that I personally want to encourage individuals to take note of. We know that as COVID-19 has swept across the country, taking lives and also the financial well-being of so many households along with it, inevitably there are going to be conflicts that occur, right? Whether it be with a landlord, whether it be with a mortgage company, the bank that's financed your vehicle. We want you to know that we are here, and yes, you can give us a phone call to deal with matters such as the like. I just recently jumped off the phone with a client that is been working with us in terms of our business plan for the last 2 years or so. She paid top dollar, well over $3,000, to have a website redesigned for her because she wanted to ramp up her marketing efforts. Smart decision, right? During the pandemic, while other people kind of have their head in the sands right now in some respects. And the individual promised to deliver the service and didn't do it, disappeared for the last 2 weeks or so. Fortunately, she is a member with us, and so she was able to pick up the phone. She was able to make a phone call to our law firm. Our law firm wrote a letter and made a phone call on her behalf. And lo and behold, a couple weeks later, now today, she finally received a notification from the business owner with an apology, but more importantly, with a deposit back into her account for the monies that were paid for services that weren't rendered, right? And absent this plan, it probably would have been very difficult to catch up with that individual. Obviously, if they weren't willing to do right by her, they probably weren't going to be willing to respond to any type of call or text or email that she had made previously. And we just want you to know that, look, while the law firms, of course, don't have magic pixie dust, lightning's not going to strike your enemies when you give us a phone call. We're available to assist you when situations like that transpire. Unfortunately, during situations like this, you have people who take advantage and who look to exploit individuals, and they feel like they're stressed out and their back is against the wall. We know that there is a multitude of paperwork flying around right now for assistance. The individuals may be seeking to protect their business and to recoup monies that have been lost during the pandemic. And there is oftentimes a paucity of support in terms of professionals who are willing to help people navigate that paperwork. Also, there's a huge concern about whether or not certain sites are legitimate or not. And we want to make sure that, once again, individuals are aware that, yes, you can pick up the phone. You can contact our consultants, and you can contact our attorneys, our law firms nationwide, and we will help you identify those sites that are legitimate. We'll help you navigate that paperwork. We'll help you understand what are the ramifications for receiving a loan versus a grant, and some of the programs that are hybrids of both. So be aware that that is a benefit that we have availed and made available to you. We also know that identity theft is skyrocketing. And if you don't have our ID Shield plan, I encourage you to inquire about it. Know that all the information I'm sharing is going to have an associated link that accompanies this video. But we know identity theft is off the charts right now, and it's just getting worse day by day. Many of us are being forced to share information, to engage more frequently online, utilizing social media and other apps and tools. And the criminals are becoming more and more adept at social media bombing, where they literally can enter into a Zoom platform. They can enter into your Facebook page while you're posting or while you're broadcasting and literally acquire information and sometimes even disrupt the presentation itself. So we know these things are transpiring with increased frequency. And so definitely I want to encourage you, if you have not done so, or if you have our plan, make the phone call. If you feel like you have been compromised, if you feel like there's even a chance something just doesn't feel right last time you logged in, or you feel like some information has been changed, that's what we're here for, to be of service and to help you address those needs. If, of course, you're utilizing our Go Small Biz platform, you have unlimited access, once again, to our business consultants who can converse with you about how to protect your information online, what tools and what methodology and what strategies you can employ as you are engaging. We have to utilize social media. We have to utilize online platforms now, but we can make sure we're taking the proper steps and we have the proper procedures in place to protect our information and, quite frankly, those that we are working with as well. So be aware that we're available to assist with that. If you have questions about how your healthcare may be impacted, or if you have employees, how to navigate the management of your employees' health concerns, once again, this is part of our plan. It's baked into the cake. You can pick up the phone and get questions answered as it relates to these matters. Any type of questions in terms of the tax ramifications of acquiring funds, right? Make that phone call or contact our consultants and get questions answered. Any travel expenses that may have been incurred as a result of COVID, any arrangements have been made, whether it be hotel, airline expenses, etc. Once again, feel free to pick up the phone and acquire assistance as it relates to these matters. We know because people have been forced to shelter in place, there have been a lot of undue expenses that have occurred, and there are going to be some additional expenses that are going to pop up later on down the line. We want to make sure you're not being taken advantage of, right? There is another benefit associated with the service called membership perks. We have a relationship with over 400 retailers across the United States and Canada. So whether it be hotel arrangements, I just spoke with a business owner today, whereas one of her family members was forced to move outside the residence after receiving a positive affirmation that she had indeed suffered from COVID, and she wanted to make sure that the other family members weren't put at risk. And she still needed to conduct her business, still needed to get a lot of other different things done. That became a business expense. We have discounts at hotels. We have discounts in terms of groceries. We provide discounts for cell phone, internet, buying books, electronics, or in my case, diapers, right? Insurances. These things are covered by our membership perks. And we're not talking about 5 and 10 and 20%. We're talking about 30, 40, 50, 70% off. Just recently had a colleague and a friend purchase an Apple television. That television should have been $700 because he's a member with LegalShield SmallBiz. He only ended up paying $350. So know that that membership perks benefit can actually save you more money than you could ever imagine. Not only does it cover, of course, business expenses, but once again, personal expenses as well. Just recently had a colleague take a trip to, I believe it may have been Costco. He saved $90 with one Costco visit. So know that that is a benefit that's also included with your service. Of course, we know there are additional questions that are going to come up, right? So what are your rights as an employer as it relates to an employee who may be calling off sick, right? What is your obligation? Protect your employees, but also protect your business. What do you do if an employee is exposed to the virus? What are OSHA regulations in terms of how do they now impact the workplace in terms of employees who may be working at home or may be working remotely, right? So should you have policies and procedures in place in terms of a sick leave policy now? Maybe it's something you hadn't thought about before, but of course now is necessary, right? If once again you want to negotiate for a landlord, negotiate a mortgage, negotiate a car note, particularly once again if these are business expenses, we're here to be of service to you and assist you with that. Even a phone or utility bill right now, you can utilize our business consultants and our attorneys to negotiate if you feel like it's becoming a burden and you need someone to help you resolve a conflict you may be having for company. We know as a result of the financial hardships that are occurring, you're going to also have individuals who are starting up businesses. So if you're listening to this and you're a business startup, whether it be due to unemployment or underemployment, if you have questions about launching a new business, if you want assistance in terms of vetting individuals out, in terms of acquiring a website or utilizing our services to build a website, know that it's available. If you have questions as it relates to an LLC, S Corp, and C Corp, what makes the most sense from a tax standpoint, but also from a compliance standpoint in your industry, give us a phone call. Utilize our services. If you have advice that you'd like to secure as it relates to marketing your business during this period, right? There are some individuals who are actually going to come out of this crisis having built businesses and having even thrived because they've received the proper advice in terms of how to market and advertise effectively despite the conditions on the ground. We can assist you with that. Once again, tax and accounting mentions, I keep mentioning that because that's a big deal right now in terms of what can be written off and what cannot. And also, once again, what are going to be the ramifications of monies that are acquired as a result of some of these programs, right? So we want to make sure that you have a good understanding in terms of how we can meet the need. There are going to be a couple links that are included with this overview that you're listening to now. I encourage you click the links to learn more about how we can help you navigate and actually continue to build or at least maintain your business dealings. You have over 4.4 million micro business owners and households. You have over 300,000 corporations that are utilizing our services to achieve these aims right now. Make sure that you're one of them, right? So we have a wealth of wisdom, experience, and know-how with our law firm, over 70 years of experience. So they've seen a couple recessions. They've seen a depression like situation. They've seen 2008. They went through 9/11, and they're going through this situation and helping individuals navigate based on those years of experience. Our business consultants and our relationship Go Small Biz, the organization dates back over 50 years. Our relationship with us over 2 decades. Take full advantage of the wisdom and information these consultants have to offer. And look, I'll leave you with this. I trust that your family, which is most important, right? This message finds you and your family well and in a positive place. And I want you to know that we're here to be of service to you, but I also want you to know is that this pandemic is going to end, right? And, while our lives have been changed irrevocably as a result of what's transpired, our nation survived pandemics. We survived wars. We've survived economic downturns and turmoil. We're going to find a way to thrive after this as well. And, I want to leave us on a positive note. There is no reason why hardship have to get additional hardship. So know that we're here to help alleviate any concerns, any challenges you may be having. Thank you once again for your time. Definitely do click the links, learn more about how we can serve you, and goodbye for now.